let's get to the heart of the matter, which is how to handle the relationship while they are your client. So congratulations, you got the deal. Now you already have a relationship in place, and you want to make sure that the project is being handled as smooth as possible. All right. So the first key to relationship, and this is true not just with clients, it's true probably with your significant other or any type of relationship. If you want it to be successful, you have to clarify expectations. Most of the frustrations and getting pissed off and argument and all of that is because people have different expectations. They are not aligned, they're not talking about it, and there was some kind of a miscommunication around the expectations. So how do we make sure that we are synced with our clients, that we know where things stand, they know where things stand, and we know what to expect? First thing is always take notes. Whenever you're talking to them, if you're in a meeting, if you're on a phone call, if you're reading an email from them, always have your notebook and always take notes. Do not trust your memory, okay? And it's important. It's important to listen and take notes. The second thing is you want to make sure that what you took note of is actually correct, because sometimes you would either not hear something important that they said, or you'll misinterpret something that you said. And by sending them a meeting or a call summary outlining exactly what you've discussed and what agreement or decisions you've taken, that makes sure that if you got something wrong, they're going to write to you, no, that's not what I said. And that's great, because you'll be able to align the expectation and sync before you go in and do some work or progress in a way that's not what they think is going to happen. So always send a meeting and call summary. Okay? When you do that, always explain what the next step is, because there's nothing that people hate more than uncertainty. When they don't know what's going to happen next, when they're going to hear back from you, what's going to be sent, then their way of dealing with the uncertainty is to bother you, right? To call you every time, every day, where we are, where I'm going to hear from you, what are you doing today, which, as we know, is very, very annoying to us. So the way to avoid that is to very, very clearly let them know what's going to happen, okay? And when exactly they're going to hear back from us, okay? That is, if you do this one thing, you'll already be better than probably 90% of other freelancers, and your clients are going to have such an amazing experience. They'll be back to working with you. So this is super important key. Sometimes things are not going to be working well, okay, even though you do your best. And sometimes there's troubles. I mean, sometimes there's unexpected things. The world is not perfect. However, when you have things that are going wrong, make sure to, as soon as possible, let them know, okay? So if you saw that your computer is not working properly, you lost it, or something like that, or that it looks like you're going to be sick and you won't be able to handle next week's meeting, let them know in advance, okay? Send an email saying, look, I feel like I'm getting sicker, and it's possible that I won't be able to take next week's meeting. I just wanted to let you know in advance. Okay, it's better to say that and then cancel. I mean, or then at the last minute say, you know what, I've made it, it's good, than to think to yourself, no, it's going to be fine, I'm going to make it, and then in the last minute say, I'm not going to be able to make it, and then you let them know that something is not going to happen in the last minute. Because when people have time to adjust and prepare, they're good, they're willing to accept it. But when you let people know last minute that something, went awry, that's when people are starting to get pissed off. So again, sometimes things will happen last minute and you've got nothing to do about it. But if you have some kind of a notice that things might not be going well, let them know as soon as possible. Okay, they will appreciate your honesty and your willingness to acknowledge and try to do your best. Okay, it's very important. So I want to share an example of an email. So an onboarding email, how I would send it. So it would go something like this. Hey Jack, excited to start working with you on the new project together. Here's what you can expect. One, I'll be sharing files with you on this Dropbox folder. Our kickoff meeting is next Monday. A calendar invite is sent with location and agenda. And I'll be sending the down payment invoice tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions. Looking forward to seeing you next Monday, Ron. So notice that they know exactly what's going to happen, right? Both in how files are going to be shared, when we're going to meet next, where this is, and what are we going to talk about in that meeting. And I also send them a calendar invite, and also that they can expect a down payment tomorrow. So prepare for that. So I just want to make sure that everything is clear, what's going to happen next, how we're going to communicate, and so forth. I'll send you, I want to share another example, which is how I would sum up a meeting. So, hi Jack, great to see you today for the presentation. I want to sum up what we've discussed. The selected creative direction is direction number 1. I'll suggest 2 more alternatives for the logo color options, and I'll send them by Tuesday end of day. Once we approve the color, we'll be finishing the design phase of the project. We'll get started on the development of the website. First revision to do 10 days later, and I'll be sending an invoice for the second milestone. Let me know if you have any questions. So this clearly aligns you that you've made a decision on the creative direction, right? There's not going to be any going back later on saying, you know what, I didn't thought about this. I'm letting them know that we are close to finishing and sealing the deal on the design phase. I am saying that I do need to show them 2 more alternatives for the logo color, and I'm telling them exactly when they're going to get them. But I'm also telling them that once this is done, we're moving forward and clarifying that they'll have to pay at that point. Okay, so again, just want to show you how I'm clarifying everything, both decision and what's going to happen next. Now, integrity is something that's super important in any relationship, and the way that it manifests for me in how to handle relationship is basically, first of all, I never lie. I say things as they are, even if it's uncomfortable sometimes. I mean, when something doesn't come out as you would like it to be, it is what it is. So I never lie, or I never put the blame on somebody else. I try never to be late, okay? So as I say, sometimes things happen, but when they do, I give them a notice in advance, and I make sure that these coincidences are not in a, it should be probably 1 in 10 times or less. But if things happen to happen 5 times out of 10 times, then there's something that's a problem here, right? So I try to never be late, and not to blame the traffic, not to blame the fact that I had a flat tire or whatever. I take the buffer to be there before time to never make them wait for me. Okay, I remember and I remind you that this is a service business, and I try to treat them like a king. So for me, saying something is going to be done. When I say something is going to be sent by Tuesday end of day, I send it by Tuesday end of day, even if I don't really like the color combination that I came up with by Tuesday end of day. But I say it's going to happen, then it happens. And this is basically, integrity for me is basically doing what you said you will do. Might sound basic to you, but you will have no idea. And I'm telling you this right now as somebody that also hires freelancers. Probably 80% of the people that I hire don't do what they say they will do. They will say something, I will send you something on Monday, and they will not send it by Monday. And then I'll have to ping them on Tuesday. Hey, you said you're going to send it by Monday. What's up? And then I become the annoying clients, and they become the people who said they're going to do something, but they don't. And now they're coming up with excuses and so forth. All right. So to sum this up, I think that if the client needs to call you and ask for the status, just like I explained right now, you've messed up. Either you did not communicate when something is going to be delivered and when we're going to talk next time, or you said it, but you didn't do it. So in each case, you've messed up. So make sure this doesn't happen, okay? And I want to remind you that if you took the 3rd relationship type that I described earlier in this week, then you're not working for them. You're working together with them. And that basically means that you do not hide your work and only show them the end result, right? You try to work together with them. You want to ask for their opinion as early as possible to make sure that you're going in the right way. You want to listen to actually what they have to say. And you have to trust them that they really, really know their business and their clients better than you. If you have these assumptions, you'll want to work with them. You'll want to hear their opinion and feedback, and know that the work can be the best that it can be only with their feedback. Now, I want to finish up with a very important reminder that my boss at a design agency that I work with had to hammer it into me, and reminding me that when you work with, either a founder or somebody that has another company to run, besides the project that they're working with you right now on, they have 97, if not more, other things going on right now besides this project in their business. There's a lot of other things on their head. So be mindful of this when you're getting annoyed that they didn't answer your phone, or that they said they're going to do something on Tuesday and they didn't do this, right? Remember, you have standards for yourself. But if your client doesn't, do something that they say, try to be empathetic and remember that they have a lot on their head. This is your business, so obviously you're very invested, but they have lots of things going on right now. So cut them slack a little bit.